Okay, this is a test. So far, Facebook's not faring too well. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, maybe it is going. Yeah, it looks like it is. I don't know if it's, I don't know about this stuff. Looks like maybe it is working when I go to the event. So if anybody's out there watching it, you can let me know. Says it's doing something. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Anyhow, the purpose of this live is for two things. First of all, to test Facebook because I did some more research, which means I asked Google Gemini, and it came up with something. I said, I just explained to it. I said, hey, I keep trying to broadcast to Facebook as well as YouTube, and it keeps coming up telling me that my Facebook setting is set to friends only and not public. And that's why it's not showing it up on my thing. But um, it came up with something different that I hadn't seen before. So, oh yeah, there it is. It looks like it's working. Okay, good. All right. Well, That's good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and cut Facebook off, and I will pop out um, these comments because I'm probably not going to be able to see many of them. But this thing does get a little bit bigger if you're leaving a comment. I don't know if I'm going to get them from Facebook or not. Again, I don't know if that part's going to work. This is also going to YouTube, so if you want to comment and you're having trouble doing it on Facebook, you can scoot on over to the YouTubes and should be able to comment from there. But anyway, I'm not going to dilly dally around here too long. I want to get this done. Like I said, today's uh, thing is going to be putting this G3 Masso in place of the old second generation that I have in there now. So I'm going to try to give you some pictures. I guess I got to be over here for this to work. Yeah, there we go. So there's going to be the back end of this. Um, let me do one more thing here real quick. I want to double check that and see if anybody's commenting over there. Let's see. Oh yeah, Steve Mills. Jerry's over there. Okay, looks like that's kind of working, although I'm not seeing these these comments aren't showing up in EVMux for some reason. I suppose there's probably some more little permissions hidden away somewhere that you got to approve that. But at least the stream is over here, and looks like that part's working. So happy about that much. Little baby steps. We'll get one thing fixed at a time here, I guess. But Jerry says, looks and sounds good. I'm commenting in chat. Okay. Well, I am not seeing the comments. Um, let's see. I've got the comments popped out here, and I am not seeing any showing up at all. So, and according to, let's see, it says I have 9 watching, 7 on YouTube, 2 on Facebook. So if somebody from YouTube could put a comment in, that'd be great. I can at least check to see if that's working. But it's good to see that it is doing the Facebook thing. I would really like to be able to get the comments from there as well. But like I said, I'll work on that. That'll give me something else to work on, I guess. So, but anyway, all right. So let's see. Click to bring. Okay, Okay, now I'm seeing the comments. When I popped them out, they're not showing. So that thing is not working. Maybe that's still under construction or something from EVMux. Okay, so I see them now. Steve says working on YouTube. Okay, yeah, I see all the comments now. Here from Facebook as well. Okay, yeah, and it's showing if okay, so all of that is working good. Okay. It's just when I pop out the chat to make it bigger, which really doesn't matter. I'm probably still not going to be able to read it from back there where I'm going to be working, but I will come around here and check every once in a while. Okay, good deal. Good deal. Happy to know that something finally worked on stupid Facebook. I'm not a fan of Facebook. I'm really not. But anyway, let's get started. Like I said, this is the view you're going to have. I got a camera set up right back here, and it's pointing at this, and I'm going to be removing the top and the back, and I don't know how much you're going to see, and maybe you really don't care anyway, but before I do anything, I'm going to fire this thing up, run the old Gen 2 one last time. Let's see, let me go back to, we'll go back to this view for a second. So we'll go ahead and home it, and it'll home over here in the back right, and then it'll go over and touch off on the tool setter over there, and then it'll stop above the tool setter, so it'll be kind of out of my way on this side. All right. So now I'm going to shut this thing back off, and we'll start tearing into this thing. Let me switch the camera back to that other view, and we'll start taking this thing apart. Like I said, if you got any questions about something, feel free to put them in the chat if you would, since I'm going to be having to go back and look, you know, just periodically, because there's no way I can read them from here. If you would, if you got a question, put like a capital QQQ or something in front of your comment or question, and that way when I go back and look, I can spot it right away that it's a question. Otherwise, I might miss it. All righty. Now, when I take off this back, it's a little tricky because I've got this fan, and the wires to it where it connects are pretty close, so I don't really have a lot of room to move this unless I just disconnect it, which I might go ahead and do. And in fact, I just now realized something. This fan that I bought is a 12-volt fan, and it goes to a terminal block over here that's got 12-volt power. But the new G3 requires 24 volts, and I was going to take this and make it a 24 volt. So I'm probably going to have to disconnect that fan and not use it anyway until I can get a replacement. I didn't even think about that until just now. And this right here, I think you can see I've got this little hole I drilled in the back here, and this little cable. This is going from my touch probe, so I know it's going to kind of be in the way. So yeah, let me check over here and see if there's any questions or smart aleck comments or anything. Let's see. Commenting on both Facebook sounds it looks great on both. Well, good. I am so happy that I finally got that. Well, I didn't figure it out. I finally had Google Gemini explain it, where when I followed their directions, it was hidden away. And I've asked around on Facebook and done Ask Facebook Meta and all that stuff. And I just could never get it figured out. And sure enough, you EVMux, which is the stream software I use, or app, I should say, has to have permission from Facebook to post on my behalf, to put it on my profile page. And apparently, somewhere deep in the bowels of Facebook, there's a permission thing. And when I finally found it, it was set to custom and not public. So once I changed that and saved it, boom, there's everything is working great now. So that's awesome. Finally, something went right with Facebook for a change. All right, I don't see any comments, so I still don't understand why you can pop those comments out, but there's nothing there. So that may be something that EVMux is working on, but they haven't got it perfected yet or something. I don't know. I don't know about that, but it is good to know they're coming through over here. Really, really nice. Yeah, there's another Facebook comment. All right, good deal. All right, so back to it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trace these wires to this fan and go ahead and pull those out, because like I said, I just realized that that's a 12-volt fan, and now this is going to be a 24-volt thing, unless of course I ran, what do you call it, one of those little buck connector or buck, I forget what they call them, another thing that reduces it down to 12. But right now I've got 236 power supplies. This part where the keyboard is, this just lifts off. So I got two 36-volt power supplies right here, and I'm pulling power off of one of those and have a terminal block over here on this side. That's the 36-volt one. And then everything else that can run on 12 is over here going from this terminal block. But the fans are no longer, or this fan is no longer going to cut it. So let me go ahead and remove those wires. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and remove the ones for this touch probe as well, just so I can move this whole back panel out of the way, and then y'all might be able to see a little something, because you're not going to be able to see much with it the way it is. Okay, let's see, that one's touch probe. Okay, that's the pull-up resistor, I think is what I've got right there. Yeah, let's pull this off. Tell you what I'm going to do. Just because my memory is terrible, I'm going to get a good shot. I'm still not sure this will help. Maybe it will. So if I get lost with a wire later on, maybe I can use that picture for reference, which is always a good idea if you're working on stuff involving wires and you're not electrically inclined like I am. Just take a picture of stuff so you know what wire goes where, and it's not really that bad. You don't really have to know what you're doing. You can fake it till you make it, as they say, right? Okay, that is going to... Okay, that's going to one of the homing switches there, looks like. All right, let's get this fan loose right here. Okay, so there's that. This touch probe is loose, but now I've got to get the little tiny screwdriver to use on the Masso. Okay. All right, now we should be able to, of course, I probably got these wires tangled up here somewhere. Okay, there, I'll set that over there. And now you should be able to see my tangled up mess here. All right, that's the pull-up resistor. Okay. So here's what all I've got to do. I've got to basically take this off and all these wires that are connected to it, take them loose and put them to the new one. So this is coming from the 36 volts, or no, I'm sorry. It's going down here to the e-stop. So it's between the power and the e-stop, or the e-stop's between the power and the controller. So when you hit that, it'll turn that off. Okay, this is one of the homing sensors. Oh, I know what this is now. I got it. It's going to pins 10 and 11. That's my tool setter. So let me get my trusty camera again. And I'm actually going to set it to video and talk to myself so I know what this is. Black wire going to pin 10 and the yellow wire going to pin 11, and that is for this tool setter. All right. Used to be a time when I was younger and I could remember all this stuff, but I know better than to trust my memory these days, so I don't even bother. All right, so we'll pull these out. And in case anybody's wondering, you're probably thinking, yeah, you're just sitting here talking to yourself. Well, I do the same thing even if I wasn't live. I'd be doing this. So I talk to Bear all the time, but he's not much on conversation. He's sitting right there in the doorway. I leave the door open so that he can hang out and see what I'm doing out here. Okay, now I've got. Ooh, I probably should label these because these all look alike. I've got 3 yellow wires right here going to pins 1, 2, and 3, and they are for the homing switches. But they're all yellow and they all look alike. So let's see if I can get a little piece of tape or something and mark a number on them. Let's see if we can do that. Let me check, see if there's any comments. Oh, there's a good tip from Steve. Says, if it zaps you, it needs insulation. If the magic smoke comes out, it needs replacement. Truer words have never been spoken right there, my friend. That is exactly way it works. That is it. All right, let's see if I can write. See if I got something that'll write on this crazy tape. All right, so there's 1, 2, and 3. Got some scissors here somewhere. I'm real bad at when I'm wiring something up. I don't really label it because I know what I'm doing when it goes in there, but I don't ever think about, well, what if you have to come back and do something else, you know? Are you going to remember what all of it is? If I remember right, I know pins 1, 2, and 3 are the 3 homing switches, but I'm not sure which one it is. I don't know whether it's X, Y, and Z or which one's which, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to just label the wires 1, and I know that that one goes in pin 1. Let's see, what is this one? 2. So it'll go in pin 2. And I'll pull this tacky looking tape off of here when I put them back in. If I can get it off. Okay, and this one's 3. Okay. That might save me a little trouble later. Come on, where's the... There it is. Okay, so those are out of the way. Now everything else, that's all the stuff on the top. Now I've got over here on the side the power wires, and this is coming from, like I said, I have a 12-volt power supply that runs up here. This is it right here. So it's making this terminal block a 12-volt place, and then I'm coming off with a red wire right here. Yeah, it's tucked. Yeah, and you can see it's got a fuse, so it's going to the power supply or the controller here, and then the ground wire is going to the negative, or not a ground wire, but the negative going to that here. So let's see if I can't even see what I'm doing here. Okay. So the positive goes on top. Well, at least it does on this one. It may not on the other one. In fact, it's a different thing. Okay, so that's gone. Now, I think what I'm going to try to do is pull these little plugs out. And I probably better get a piece of tape. And, well, I can trace them back because I know that I have X, Z, and then what you would call Y1 and Y2. So X and Z, I run them off of one power supply, and then the 2 Ys, I run off the other power supply. So probably don't really need to do this because I can follow this one back and see that it's going to this driver. So I know that that's the Z. This one. This is the one, if you watched my Hobbies CNC with Dave last night, you know that I was talking about how I have both Y motors going to the Y axis on this thing, and that's what I'm talking about. You can see I've got two cables, but each like wire is connected in a single large old ferrule, and then that's put in that way. So that's how that works. So I'm gonna pull this one out. This is the X coming over here to this driver. These little wires right here. There's what is it? 6 wires total. The green wire comes up here to the negative for a ground, and then these others go to different places for the spindle control. So what I'm going to try to do is, if I can get this out, and these things are really hard to get a hold of. I'm always afraid I'm going to break one. So I just kind of wiggle them back and forth. And by the way, should my mic drop out, I won't know it. So I'll be sitting here talking to myself and you won't be able to hear me. But if somebody will leave a comment, if it goes, Javi's in the house. How you doing, Javi? Good to see you. Is there a reason Masso doesn't have an HDMI out? I don't know. You would have to ask them. There are, they still use the VGA style connector for the monitors. There, okay, so I got that out. So, okay, so that's all the little bitty wires. Now, I've got this other stuff that I've got to get loose, and I think I'm okay to go ahead and, now these are 3D printed brackets. And I think I talked about this last night too, is the Masso comes with an end cap on each end of this that works with a DIN rail. But since this is one of their really early models, I never really liked using the DIN rail because the plastic end cap was really kind of flimsy. And I had planned on making some more end caps for the new one, but when I got it and took it out of the box, I saw that they have beefed it up. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of DIN rail right across here. And that should work. Oops. Let's see if I can get to that bottom screw. Yep, there it is. Okay, now I can remove that's just going to this external USB thing. So you've got a place to stick your thumb drives. You don't have to open it up and stick it in here all the time. And then the good old VGA connector. So let's see. There we go. And then right here, well, let me come back over here for a minute. We'll go back here. This one, the newer one, the G3, has 4 USB things, and this one, once I pull this little dongle out, you can see this one only had 2 back then. And this is for my little Bluetooth keyboard thing that I'll be using, so I got to remember to stick that on the other one. And this is also what I was talking about last night. I think maybe you can see, yeah, maybe not. But the X, Y, and Z axis have 4 terminals, and then when you get out here to the A and B, there's only 3. They have a S plus, a D plus, and then a ground. So, all right, so this is done. It's served me very well. And now let's bust this one out. Okay, as I mentioned last night, this one is the newer one. You can see, oh, I got the wrong end. Here you can see there's 4 USB connectors, and then the good old VGA connector here. On this end, this would be where you connect a pendant if you have one. I think I have one that would work with this, but I'm not even going to bother using it, but I am. I'm going to go ahead and stick this. Let's see if that's, well, that almost doesn't want to go in there like that. All right, I'm just going to stick it right there. Well, am I sticking it the right way? Maybe just, okay, they're just new, I guess. Okay, so there we go. This is what's going in. This wire, I mentioned that last night also. This is going to a little Wi-Fi module, and then it's got this little, I don't know whether you can see it, that little threaded piece, and it will get this screwed onto the end of it, which is the antenna for the Wi-Fi. So you can use the Masso link. So, very cool. So, this is going to go right here, and I just need to put a piece of DIN rail on it. And of course, I was thinking about that earlier today, thinking I need to get a piece of DIN rail ready, and I did not. So I've got one here that I think I can get screwed onto that. Don't ever throw stuff away, folks. You never know when you're going to need it again. That's my motto. Because if you're like me, when you look at something and you go, man, I've had that thing laying around for 3 or 4 years. I've never used it. Let me just toss it. If you do that, you'll need it next week. Every time. Every stinking time. Okay, let's see. All right, thank you, Don. Appreciate the confirmation there that we got things going. Oh, Hobby, don't you have something to do? Don't you got a video to make or something? You always got something going on. All right. Let's see if I can get this thing mounted. Let me switch the, did I not ever switch the camera back? Oh, maybe it's Facebook isn't running through because I'm just going to go ahead and close that out because I'm not going to watch but one of them anyway. All right, let's switch back to this. This, you can see how I made this. This is basically made of 2 pieces of 3/4 plywood to make this part solid, and then and of course the bottom is 3/4 plywood, but everything else is just skin with that 1/4 inch. But since this is where I was going to mount the monitor, that's what these 4 bolts here are for. I've got another piece of 3/4 inch here to kind of beef this part up. So let's see. I guess I should probably try to do this. Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to be able to see those last ovals. Somebody tell me, does that look straight? Close enough for government work, isn't it? Every time I look at something and I think it's straight, I'll go ahead and mount it. And then when I get it mounted and I stand back and look at it, it's like it's always crooked. But it don't really matter, as long as it works. I'm going to try to put a little bit of a starter hole in there, I think. I don't know how long have I been on here so far? 37 minutes. All right, somebody give me a quick sound check. Make sure I'm still operating. The mic, when I get done with the show, I put it on the charger, and I have 2 of them, so I flip back and forth. So the one I'm using today was the one that was on the charger yesterday while I was using the other one for the show last night. So it should be charged up good enough to go for a couple of hours or so, I would think. Crooked is the new straight. Amen, brother. Sound, okay. Wade says sound is perfect. That's awesome. You just don't know how tickled I am that finally Facebook is working. I've been trying to get that to go off and on for I don't know, probably pretty good little bit. All right, I hope. Look at me getting all tangled up here. I don't know if I'm getting that. All right, this is enough to try to get the screw to grab. All right, let's see. Screwdriver. Now, where did I set that stupid din rail? Here we go. Where did I set that stuff? That's how you do. You spend more time looking for the thing you just had in your hand 5 minutes ago. I probably set something on top of it. Oh, here it is. Set it down on the stool. Didn't look down. Okay, let's see. This might be a little tricky trying to figure out how to get this. All right. That's what I was afraid of. Hold on here. Let's go over. Try to get that right there. Try to find that hole. There we go. Now, okay, I'm not going to tighten that down all the way until I find this other one. Look at that. I don't know, it does look a little crooked from here, but maybe that's just the way I'm looking at it. It don't really matter. Okay. Now, one thing I want to do before I forget, because it could be bad news, is, as I mentioned, this, on the old one, it ran off 12 volts. The new one needs 24. So this right here, I need to take this loose and pull it out of this wire management thing and put the new 24 volt power supply on there. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one that does it, but I don't like doing it just the same. It's and it seems like the older you get, the more time you spend doing exactly that is. And it's always, you know what they say, it's always in the last place you left it. Well, of course it is. Okay, so let's get that. Now where did I set that screwdriver? Oh, here it is. Let's get this power supply connection loose. This power supply, like I said earlier, don't ever throw anything away. This power supply is out of an old airport kiosk, and it had a bunch of all kinds of different voltage power supplies and stuff. And in fact, I think this one is a dual thing, but you just have to take your meter and figure out which one is which. And ooh, I got that going through wire ties. I'm probably going to have to cut those, I'll bet. No, maybe not. Let's see if I find it from this end. Let me go ahead and unplug this thing. Okay, now I would cinch that wire tie down pretty tight, so I'm probably going to have to cut it and put another one on there. So let me get my little clippers here. No. Let's see if I can cut this without cutting the wire that I'm going to need. There we go. So we'll replace that later with a new wire tie. And here we go. There's the old power supply. And here's a brand spanking new one, courtesy of Amazon. And it's got usually when I take these old power supplies, like they'll have a plug, something like this on the end of it, and I can tell what voltage it is from this. But I cut the power supply, or cut this plug off, and then strip the wires down and use a meter to figure out which one's negative, which one's positive, stuff like that. But this one came with a cool little doodad that you just plug it on there, and then it's got a 2-wire terminal like that, so that's pretty nice. We'll have to cut that plug off and figure it out. All right, so I really should try to figure out how to get, let's see, let me kind of run this through here. This might be a little, or maybe I'll just get a little piece of wire, some red and black, and connect it here, and not try to feed this part in here, but just feed that other one, because I got plenty of that wire. And then that'll come up here and go here and here. And then will in fact make this 24 volts to 12 volts now. So yeah, I think I might do that. So I've got this old cable somewhere around here. Where did I set it? Well, I probably set it in one of those safe spaces. And now I don't know where that, oh, here it is. I think this is it. No, that's not it either. That's some 4-wire cable. Well, let's see here. I've got some, where did I set it? It's a big box, for crying out loud. Where did I set it? I'm sure I probably said when I set it down somewhere that, oh, this will be a good spot where it'll be, won't get messed up. And I don't know where I set it. What I'm looking for is, I got a box that's got this in it. This is just, it's got some white insulation. It's got a red and a black. I think it's, what is this, 14 or 16 gauge, I think. Got a whole box of it somewhere, if I can remember where I set it. But I'm finding this one up here. But that's 22.4. And I don't know where I set that other box. It's driving me crazy. Well, I'm not going to look all day. I've got some scrap pieces over here because, like I said, I don't ever throw anything away. So I've got some pieces of wire. Like here's one. This might work perfect. This has got 2 ferrules on one end and the 2 fork connectors on the other end, and that might be just enough for me to do what I need to do. So let's see. Still bugging me I can't find that other box of wire. That's just crazy. Where would I set that stuff? Well, you can bet I'll find it right after the stream, I'll bet. Let's see if I might have set it back here now. Oh well, we'll carry on with this. So let's take this. Let's see, these are marked, I think. Yeah, positive goes there. All right, so let's get this. There we go. All right, let me double check. Yep, so that's negative. Oh, I didn't switch that camera back, did I? So y'all probably can't see much anyway, but let me switch it back there. Let's see, that one. Okay, so there we got positive, negative. So, yeah, I think this will be better. Let's see if I can get this right like this. My buddy Bear is finding this pretty boring. He's sacked out there in the doorway, which is a good thing because he's been a handful. He had pretty big shoes to fill, or paws to fill, or whatever you want to call it, with since I lost Big Jack. But he's come a long way in the 4 months that I've had him. He's not near as, I mean, he's still got a little puppy in him every now and then, but he's not just full bore crazy like he used to be when I first got him. So he's turning out to be a good one, which they all do, but you just got to give him a little time. All right, I think, yeah, I'm probably going to need to get another wire cable to tie that up. Let's see if I can get this. Well, let's see, there's a wad of something right there. I really need to pull this up. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull this up and leave it right there. Now I think this thing will go on here. Well, oh, I hate when it does that. It pops on there and then you don't have them all shoved under there. Come out of there. Okay, let's try this again. Ah, bingo. There we go. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, let's check comments again. Says if you don't go for the touch, the G3 is not badly priced. I've spent half the value on fanless PC to run my machine. Yeah. Yeah, you're paying quite a bit extra to get the touch screen functionality like that. So it's nice, but I really didn't want to spend that much for this. And by using the G2, I was already used to using the keyboard, that mouse part of it and all that. And it's really not that big a deal. So I think it'll be okay. All right, I think I'm ready to try to attach this to this. Oh, let me show this. I was talking about this earlier. Of course, I didn't show the other one because they're in the house, but they have this part right here is what I'm talking about. This little end cap, there's one on each end. They have really beefed it up. It's a lot thicker and much more sturdy than the one on the G2 was. So that's why I decided to go ahead and try to use the den rail with this one. Okay, let's see. I'd probably better go ahead and plug in that USB thing, and then I need to get the VGA connector. Oh, I didn't turn that camera back on, did I? Well, I need a producer for this whatever we're going to call this. Yeah, let me switch it back. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's get the VGA slid on there. Come on, Dave, hold your mouth right. That thing going on there? Guess it screws in a long way. I don't feel like that's even going in there. Must not have it. Oh, no, it wasn't even started. Knucklehead. There it goes. And it's not like that thing's going to vibrate out, but I like to get them stuck on there pretty good. Okay, let's see if I can get this. I think the way this works is you hook it on the bottom and then snap it in from the top, I think. All right, I don't have that one quite right, I don't think. Okay, now that I got that on there, now it does look crooked as hell. Unless I don't have that, I must not have that mounted on there right. I know it's not that crooked, is it? Oh, now it's hard to get. Maybe it is on there right. Maybe it is that crooked. Let me see if I can get a. Sorry to wake you, buddy. I thought I had my flashlight right here, but guess I've got it somewhere too. I usually keep it right out here. Oh well. Boy, that does look crooked. But I'm going to go with it. It's out of the way and it'll work right there. Okay, now I'm not sure how I'm going to mount this. I really don't want to mount this with a hole through one of the covers and sticking up, because then when you go take the cover off, you got to deal with worrying about that. I think I'm just going to connect it and somehow stick it in here. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will still work. We'll find out. If it doesn't, then I'll figure out how to mount it on the outside. So, okay, so let's get back to some of this other stuff we were doing here. All right, this orange one right here, I'm gonna see if I can wiggle it out. That is the spindle. And like I have to do for a lot of things, I'm going to take a picture yeah, Troy, I mean, I think you could mount, rig you up a mounting plate to make it work. The new Z-axis assembly back here has plenty of different adjustment holes, so uh, just order one with whatever amount of travel you want. That one is the 200 millimeter, which is 7.87 inches or something like that. And yeah, it's totally doable. All right, I'm going to take a picture of this only because it's a little dark in here and I can't find my little flashlight. So what I often do is take a picture, and I know lots of other folks do this too. If you're old and, oh, I had it on video. Yeah, that ain't gonna work then. Let's take a picture, then zoom in. Spindle control 1 through 7. All right, that's just like the old one. So what I can do then is take this, holding it the same way it goes on there, like that, and take this one that went on there. You can see I could probably plug this one in just like that and be done. Yeah, see, that would go right in there. But this one has got the color-coded ones. So I'll go ahead and swap these out and just do them one wire at a time. That way I won't get messed up. So we've got the red out here on the end. So we'll pull that out. Once again, I want to make sure I'm putting it in there. Okay, it goes that way. So the red goes right in there. Oops. Make sure you stick it in the right hole, Dave. There we go. Okay, so that would go right there, just where this one went, right there. So we're good. Okay, so next we've got the black wire. Goes in 1, 2, 3, 4. So it goes in number 4. I'll pull that out. Take this one. Uh-oh, somebody's bothering Knucklehead in there. One, 2, 3, 4. So put this right here. Okay. Next one is the orange wire. If you're doing any of this kind of stuff with controllers using these little bitty connectors like these type of controllers have, do yourself a favor and get you a nice ferrule crimping tool. I have one, just happened to have one on my Amazon store, but it's got an assortment of different size ferrules and the perfect crimping tool for doing this kind of stuff. And it really makes it nice because you get a good connection, you know, it crimps on there really well, and you get this works out really well. Get a good solid connection here. Whoop. Gonna come out some more, Dave. I guess y'all can see a little something what I'm doing. Probably not enough that really matters, but okay, so there's that one. And the final wire is the yellow one. And if you happen to be hooking one of these to a Masso, my good friend Peter Pasuelo has an excellent video on how to do this into the VFD. He breaks it down, and when you look at the drawing that they have in the VFD manual and everything, it looks like, you know, it's hard to figure anything out. But he breaks it down and removes the stuff that you don't need to worry about looking at and makes it really simple. And he was doing it with the Hung Yang VFD, which is what I bought. And in fact, I have one on both machines. And you just made it so easy because all I had to do was follow Peter's uh, instructions to a T. And when I turned it on, no magic smoke come out. So really was awesome. Now I need to make sure, because like I said, this green wire is coming over here to a negative on this, but this will now be 24. So I need to see if I can leave that there or if I need to move it to one of the grounds on here. I think I may need to move it. But let's see if I can remember that as I get farther into it here. Okay, now this right here, go ahead and put this green, go ahead and tighten these screws back down so they don't come out. Okay. And I will put this back right here. Where that goes. Now, we'll come back here. Now these here are not, the X, Y, and Z are not color coded. They're green. So since they are just like the one that's come off of there, I'm probably going to take this one right here, which is it's coming over here to this first driver. So that's the X. So I can just plug that one right there. And then I'll pull this one out. and get the one that's coming over here. Let's see, where'd it go? Okay, this one's the Z. Where'd it go? It's got to be right here. Oh, it's then flopped up this way, it looks like. Okay, yeah, so this one, if I can get my hand in there and get to it. Ah, there we go. Okay, so that's, you can tell that's the Y because it's got both sets going to it. So we're going to put that right there. And this one, I'll wiggle it, pull out the Z, and we'll be able to take the one from here, which is the Z. So again, this is X, Z, and then Y1 and Y2 going there. So all right, so now we've got these that I said I was going to move this crappy tape. Let me get them pushed in there. Let me do a quick sound check real quick if anybody's out there. Mr. Ballard's in the house. How you doing, Ryan? Over there on Facebook, look at him. Matt Meyer says, when will you be posting the video of connecting the motors and the ball screws? I didn't really take any video of installing all of those, but I have done a video showing the basic wiring. Because the ball screws really nothing to it other than, you know, at the end of it you're putting the spacer in there and putting the stepper motor coupler on that half of that on the ball screw. But as far as the connecting the motors and stuff, I did a video that would probably explain it better than trying to do it on this one, where I'm showing how to go from the power supply to the to power supply, how to power a stepper motor driver, and then the connections that you need from the stepper motor driver to the stepper motor and to the breakout board, or whatever you're using. What kind of control are you going to use with your machine, Matt? Do you know? Okay, Marcel says still here. Sounds still good. All right, good. All right, I'll continue on then, since the mic hadn't give out yet. Okay, so we're going to take this. This is going to go to number 1, which is right here. Something I didn't mention too is with the G3 Touch, and I think probably with this one as well, there's a way to save all your settings that you have once you get everything all tweaked and set up in here. Save it to a file that you can take and print out so you have all your settings. But with the Generation 2, the old one that I just took out, I didn't have that luxury. So I think that's a number 2. I'll stick it in the second one here. I went through all the F1, go to F1 where the settings are, and then went through all the things and used my phone to take pictures of all the settings. So should I get ready to set this one up and forget stuff, which I would, because I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. Okay, there's those three. They're back in there. That's the homing switches. Then I've got this is breaking up the this goes to the E switch E stop over here, and then this yellow wire goes to the other side of the positive. So and then I've got, let's see what else I've got here. Oh, here's the other piece. Okay, so I'll need to put this in the negative, which I believe is this one right here. I'm going to take a picture of this. I think this is where it goes. All right, come on, little Pharaoh, get in there. Well, for crying out loud, where's the hole, Dave? Maybe I'm not in the screw. Sometimes I sit there and I turn and turn and turn. I'm not even in the slot in the screw. Feels like it's in there. All right, come on. This is ridiculous. No, I think I'm missing the slot or something. That ferrule's not wanting to go in there at all. Am I not holding my mouth right, or what's going on here? Let's see if I can get this side. Okay, that one went in there. Yeah, that's tightening that up. Okay, now, I don't know why I'm having so much trouble getting this. Let's, all right. I am not finding the dadgum screw slot for some reason on this one. I swear that feels like it. Let's see if it's, ah, there we go. I wasn't holding my mouth right, see? Yeah, it's tightening up on there. Okay, now I'm going to come over here and open up the worldwide internet and go to the Masso site and check that connection. I'm pretty sure that's how they show it. But like I said, oops, don't like to go from memory on anything. Not with this old memory. So let's go and take a quick look. Support, documentation, installing Masso, powering Masso G3. Let's see. Yeah, 24-volt power supply. That black is the ground, and then the red is that wire with the 1 amp fuse. Let me make sure that, was that the right one? Oh, no, it was not the right one, Dave. No, it was not. Okay, so my bad. See, that's why I go check stuff. So it's not this white wire. That's got to go somewhere else. Now where did I set my little screwdriver down? Oop. Sorry I keep doing that, folks. Yeah, all that stuff in. I made it easy. If you go to my website, you just click on my, or you might be able to find it on one of my videos. I don't think I have it listed below. I probably should have. Um, but on pretty much any of my videos, I have a link to my Amazon store, and it's got all the stuff right there on one page that you can just fill up your cart, spend a bunch of money, and I might make a nickel or two. So, all right, yeah, this one goes here, Dave, you knucklehead. This goes somewhere else. And I'll have to figure out where. There we go. Sometimes you don't think you've got the hole opened, the screw backed out enough to make that hole big enough, and then you turn that ferrule just 90 degrees or something, and it slides right in there. So, okay, let's see. This must go. I don't know. I have to go back and look at my pictures and see where that went. So we'll do that. Let's see, where's that picture that I took the first time? There it is, that big blob of wires. And wouldn't you know it, it's just out of the shot right there. I think it's going to, let's see, this one goes to the positive over there. This one must go to the ground, I think. I'm pretty sure. But let me go. Wiring calibration. No, that's not what I want. I'll try their little search thing. E-stop wiring. There we go. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It goes to that orange one right beside it in number 2 for the e-stop. Okay, excellent. Excellent documentation by Masso on this stuff. If you just look at it. So yeah, I was close where it went. So I need to take this. Well, I cannot see when I'm in. There it goes. There it goes. It went that in there. Actually, I don't like that. It looks like Some of the wire got frayed. I should have put a ferrule on this one, but since this is a thicker wire, you get it twisted good, it goes in there and cramps pretty good. But I want to try to get it stuck in there without. There we go. Okay, now, while I've got the Masso website open here, oh, I forgot to switch the camera back, didn't I? I'm going to go back to and look up spindle. I guess I'm going to have to put wiring. Oh, spindle control, I guess is what they've got. Okay, so I'm trying to see if because they're showing the 6 wires here. Well, okay, this might be what I want. Because man, they got it so small I can't see it though. And there's no way to click on it to make it bigger. But it looks like they've got that one wire, which I was asking about that green wire. It looks like they've got it going to a ground just down the way from the spindle control. So, all right, I've got to wait a minute. That's different than what my situation is, I think, though. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will go over here and look at my other machine and see where that 6th wire goes. Yeah, it's too dark in there to be able to see it. Guess I could turn this other lighting on back here. It may help light a little bit to where I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that out right there. May not make any difference, but I'm going to take this out. And I think because this newer Masso has a lot more places for ground, the old one didn't really have much. So I'm going to take that green wire and go to this ground that's just down from the spindle control. So These lower ones are kind of a bugger to get in there because you can't see the hole. Oh, there it goes. Well, okay. Let's see. I don't think we're too far off from firing this thing up, see if we let the magic smoke out. So I think that was the last of the connections. Let me just take a quick look over. Oh no, I've got these right here going to the tool setter. And if I remember right, that's the one where I set the video and said the black wire goes to 10 and the yellow wire goes to 11. Let me go watch that. Black wire going to pin 10 and the yellow wire going to pin 11. And that is for this tool setter. Okay, so now there are different things. So let me make sure the slot hadn't changed on this. Let me take another quick picture right here. Then I can blow it up and see. Oh yeah, 10's not. So 10's the third one from that black one right there. Okay, so they do change. This is, let me show you again. You've got, it starts here, you got 1 through 6 running here, and then you've got 3 power choices right here. So then it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So pin 10 is, that's 12, 11, 10. So 10 is right here. And it's not a big deal because if I put this in the wrong thing, I could always, as long as it's in an input, I can always change it and make it work. But I'm just trying to keep it all just like it was so I can plug in the same settings in when I fire this thing up. So there is 10. This is, boy, that thing, you can hear it slipping out of that slot on that screw. That thing is so tiny. Let's see, we're getting a mess here too. Not real great at wire management, as you can see. At least I try to keep it halfway neat in these little wire management trays or whatever you call them. And you know, this looks a mess, but when you get it all set in here, put the covers on, nobody sees that. So, all right, I think we're about ready to fire this up. Now, I think I need to check one other thing because since this doesn't have the firmware in it yet, I've got that on a thumb drive right here. And I will have to, on the G3 Touch, when you power it up for the first time, you just kind of tap on the screen and it goes into the setup mode or whatever. And then you can select the firmware and install it real easy. But since this is with a keyboard and not The other one, I believe I have to, I think I have to hit F1 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's not finding what I want. Oops. Let's see. Okay. I think that's what you got to do. I'm gonna go ahead and swap this. Let's see. I guess I'll leave it on that screen. So I'm going to put the firmwares on this one. And I think let me double check everything. I don't think I've got any stray wires. I think I've got them all connected. I know I've got all of those connected. The spindle is connected. The tool setter's connected. The homing switches are connected. So let me plug this new 24 volt power supply into the strip. I've just got a power strip back here, which when I flip the switch, it powers on the power supply that gives the 24 volts to all of this. And then also feeds power to 110 power to these power supplies and to the this monitor right here. So one more quick look before I go crazy and turn this thing on. I don't see, it's kind of hard to see looking into this mess of wires, but I'm pretty sure I got everything connected. All the stepper drivers are connected. The tool setter, that should be it, I think. So let's, oh, I don't have the touch probe connected, but that can wait. And let's see, was there something else on this? No, it's got the pull up resistor. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. So let me, I'm going to just put these little doodads on the old ones since they're identical. And now I've still got a good control. I was telling Ryan last night, he asked me about what I was going to do with this. I said, well, here's the problem. Now it's going to be sitting around collecting dust unless I build something else. But anyway, all right. I think we're ready to go. Let me put the thing on here. And by the way, in case anybody's wondering, I have already checked that power supply when I got it. I don't ever trust them. You know, they're supposed to be a certain voltage or whatever, but I immediately tested it to make sure it was 24 volts, and it is. So we should be good there. So I think everything is tied up right. Let's light this candle, and I'll get ready to hit F1. Yep, there it is. Thanks for purchasing. Okay, so I've already done that. So Oh, do I have to get an activation email for this? Okay, it says the controllers are shipped without the main software loaded. Please log into your Masso My Workshop account to download the software. Well, I've done that, and it's already on that thumb drive. However, I might not have it in the right directory. It might, maybe that's why it's saying that. All right, let me turn it back off. At least I didn't see any magic smoke come out. Did anybody see it? Boy, that thing is really in there. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that. I couldn't remember whether the firmware needed to be in a folder called Masso or not. And I think it does. And I did not, I put it on there, but I didn't put it in that folder. So I'm going to, no, I don't want to format that, you knucklehead. What in the world? It's telling me I need to format that. I already formatted it before I put that on there. So, boy, it's wanting me to format it. All right, well, we'll format it, and I'll have to go get that file again. I'll have to run in there to the office and get it real quick. It says it's unable to commit. Boy, this is working out great here. I may have to, let me hit this. Okay, I think we're squared away now. For some reason, I don't know, that flash drive I had that on before must have went corrupt on me or something, because it wouldn't read once I put it back in there in the office, and that's where I put that on there. So hopefully we've got it right now. So how we doing? Is everybody I still got sound? Yeah, that's funny, Ryan. Masso's not that kind of company. They let you keep your old stuff, unlike some of these other knuckleheads. All right, let's try the F1 thing again. Okay, we're getting the same thing. Controllers are shipped without the main software. Please log on to your Masso My Workshop account to download it. I have, and it is in the for my machine type. If you have not received an account activation email, please email. All right, I guess I don't have I guess that's what I'm lacking, because I have not got any email. Let me go back to the Masso Home, My Workshop. Let me sign in. There's the one I'm looking for. My inbox is empty from that, so let me check, see if I got an email somewhere. I think that's what's holding me up here. Nothing there. Let me check my other email accounts and see. Nope. On a lighter note, my Amazon delivery is here. Okay, so let me go to here. Oh, manage device access. No. Man, I didn't know I had to wait around for a activation email, because it let me download the firmware without any problem. Well, nuts. All right, we're at 2 hours here. I guess I could go ahead and get off of here. I'm confused now. What am I looking for? I guess I need to go. There's all the info, the order date, the reference number, all that kind of stuff. I just need to have y'all turn it on somehow. I don't know what's I don't know. I guess I'll have to go back in to the office and look through my email when they confirm my order. Maybe there was something in there that I missed, and it said that I was supposed to do. So let's see, let me read this again. If you have not received account activation email, see, I don't really think that applies to me because I already have an account that's activated. That's why I can go in there and get my software. So let's it says scan that QR code for help. Let's try that and see what happens. Oh, that probably just takes you to the website. Loading the software. Okay. Let's see if maybe I'm not hitting the right key or something.
To load or update software on your third generation Masso CNC controller, you first need to connect your power supply, monitor, keyboard and mouse to Masso. You must also prepare a USB flash drive with the software on it. To do this on my PC, I'm going to right-click on my flash drive and come down to Format. I must select FAT32. I'm going to select 16 kilobyte allocation unit size. For tidiness, I'm going to rename it to Masso. I'm going to select Quick Format and go Start. This brings up a warning saying that formatting will erase all data on this disk. And I click OK, and once the formatting is complete, a message will be brought up. I click OK and go Close. We can now go into our USB flash drive and create a new folder. The new folder must be called Masso, and this is where we put the files we wish to install. If you do not put them in this folder, Masso will not be able to read them. Do not put your software in the USB flash drive root directory or your update will fail.
Okay, let me take it out of the root directory. I've got it in both places, so maybe that's why it's failing. Let's see if it will let me remove it from this one now. Let's see if this one will. Yeah, let's try deleting this. Okay, so there's the Masso directory, and that is maybe that's the ticket. I don't know. Let's see. Peter said it would fail, and it did. So let's turn this off, and then back again, and press the F1. I'm still getting the same thing. All right, I guess I'll have to go finish watching that thing. I guess I'm going to get off of here. I thought I was going to be able to have it running here, but we've been at it 2 hours, and Marcelo's working on a new inlay board. That's good. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and sign off here, and I will get this. It's all installed as long as I can get it to find that software, and maybe I'm not hitting the right key. That might be the problem. So let me go back and hit this again and
in softwares. It allows OEMs or people with multiple machines to load all the various softwares onto one flash drive and go between machines updating them. Masso will only show the software related to its serial number. Let's take a quick look at the files on my flash drive. You can see the serial numbers 5001, see the message, USB, and the other for Plasma. So depending on which machine we connected to, we can select and load the software that we want. To install, upgrade, or change software, repeatedly press the F1 key in the first 4 seconds after turning Masso on until you see the software load screen. If you see the message USB flash drive not connected or no Masso software files on USB flash drive, please check that your flash drive is correctly formatted as FAT32 and your files are in a folder called Masso. You can scan the QR code at the top of the screen with your phone or tablet for additional help. If everything is correct, Masso will show the files available and you can select the software that you want. Use the up and down arrows to select the one you wish to load and press the enter key to begin. Masso will load the file, and when it is complete, press the escape key to run the new software.
Well, I'm pressing F1, so I was pressing the right key. But for some reason, it's not finding that thumb drive. Maybe I'll try yet another thumb drive. Because I know you're supposed to use good quality thumb drives, but I thought these ones that I was using were pretty decent, but maybe not. So let me, I may try, this is the one I was using with the G2. Let me go try to put that in there. And we'll try it one more time. So I will be all right. We'll try it with a different. This is the thumb drive that I was using with the G2. Maybe these aren't any good. All right, let's try it again here. Yep, still coming up with the same thing. All right, well, I guess I won't waste any more of y'all's time. We'll go ahead and sign off of here. and I'll keep playing with this until I get it figured out. But that's it. The new one's in there. It's I'm sure going to work good as soon as you can get the firmware installed on it. That's going to be the thing. I might as well download it again to get it on this one right here. I don't know why it's not. We'll download it and have that way. I'll have it on this one. Won't have to keep going back in there. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all helping me check out this live stream. Right now, we've got still a couple of people over on Facebook, so it's good to know that the Facebook is working and there's a YouTuber. You can't really tell whether, when I click on one, whether it's a Facebook or YouTube until it pops up here on the screen. Nothing in the comment thing, and I still don't understand about that. Oh, there's a new download available for something. I don't know what that is. All right. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, and we will catch y'all on another one. And I'm probably going to set one of these up sometime where I'll do some stuff with Design Spark Mechanical. I had a couple people seem like they were interested in maybe taking a look at that, so I'll probably do that here in the very near future. So until the next one, thank y'all. See you later.